Hi, all of my math students. This is our last day of school, Monday, June 1st. Can you believe that we've gotten through this crazy year? And so today, our last day of class, we're going to do something fun that involves angles and perspective and a little bit of geometry, but mostly it's just for fun and art. Because I want you to end the year knowing that math is useful, it's important, but it also can be interesting and fun. So what we're going to do is do an optical illusion project. It shouldn't take you more than an hour, hour and a half at the most, and it's for fun. So what I want you to do is print the work pages that I have attached to the email that I sent your parents today, and take a look at them. And I'm going to walk you through some of it right now. So the first page should look like this. It's called Opt Art. And I don't know if you've ever seen optical illusions, but basically they're 2D pictures, many of them, but when you look at them, they look 3D, and that's because of the way that they're drawn. So I want to show you some examples of some things that you can make. So this one up here is a 3D bulge, and right here we've got a star that's descending, and here's another one. And this is some kind of a corner, I forget what it's called, but it's a descending corner like that. So you can do either black and white or colors added to black and white, or you don't have to use black and white at all. As long as you have two contrasting colors like blue and white, or purple and orange, or something light and dark that you like. Purple and orange might not be that great. Maybe red and blue, something like that. You can make something really beautiful. So I want to walk you through the one that I did so that you can, and this actually has the most instructions in the packet, so that you can see it's really not that daunting. What I find is coloring the squares is what took me the most time. Okay, so the first thing you have to do, I have all the steps done out on the floor here. The first thing you want to do is take a piece of white paper, and you want to cut it so it's 8 by 8. It's a perfect square. And you tape it to a piece of newspaper because you're going to need to draw out here. Just one moment. My son is making noise. Johnny! Taping. Okay, that's okay. We all are still living at home during COVID. Okay, so, not mad at him, he just has his music on loud. Okay, so here, I cut it so it's 8 by 8, and then I drew a line down the middle, and you tape it to a piece of paper, a newspaper like this. All right, so let's look at the next step. So let's say you're still here. Now, you draw a dot out here on the newspaper, okay? And you want to have it halfway between. So what I did is I measured about 4, and then I kind of eyeballed it out here like this, okay? And then you want to have a dot just like it on the other side. So out here I measure how many inches to the beginning of this big dot. So that's about 2 3/4. So from here, I'm going to measure 2 3/4. And I'm going to put another dot out here, okay? Now, I'm going to draw lines from the center here on the edge to my dot, okay? And this is why we need the newspaper. So it looks like this, whoops, okay? And then I do it on the other side, like this. So here I've done this. All right, so it looks here just like this. This is the finished product here. Excuse me. And now you want to move inward and work just on this paper. So let's go to the next one. The first thing you want to do is take your ruler, and you want to, on this line, you want to mark inches. So you can see on every inch I marked with a more bold mark. And then you take your ruler, and along each line here you're going to draw. like this, okay? And so you have 8 lines all the way along there. And then you do it on the other side. Okay, like this. All the way along here. Okay, now I'm not going to do all of those, but you get the idea. So then you get to this. So here's how it looks when you finish this one all the way here. And then what they tell you to do is to kind of guesswork, but you take your ruler and you have your biggest squares right near the middle. So I went over about 1 inch and I drew a line here, see? And then I drew another one, but it's not quite as big. Do you see how it's getting a little smaller? And as I move along, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller all the way down to the end, so that my last 2 lines are really only about 1/4 of an inch. It's not exact, but you just want the squares to be getting smaller. And then you do the same thing on the other side. So if I was to do that, it would look like this, and then maybe like this, oops, and then this. So you get the idea, all right? Now, once it's completely full, you're going to start coloring in your squares. Can you already see how that's making a corner because of our angles there? Something in the directions that they tell you that is very important is to put dots on all the squares you want to color first. Trust me, because if you start coloring and you make a mistake, the whole thing is thrown off, and I don't want you to lose all that work. So I went through, I only did a couple rows here, but I went through and I put dots all the way along. And actually, I made a mistake, and it was really easy to white it out. And you'll see in a minute, you won't even be able to tell where that mistake was, but I caught it. Really important, okay? Now, the instructions are very detailed in this packet, and they're really helpful. So I want to encourage you, don't skip anything, don't go fast, because every instruction is important. But there's one thing they didn't really tell you. Now, when you get to this point here, you can see that you don't have enough lines here. So they tell you to fill those in. But how do you do that? Well, you want to have it at the same angle as all the ones that you've already drawn. So what I did is you line this up like this, and then you keep the same angle and move back. Do you see like that? So I'm not moving the angle of my ruler. Even if they're a little bigger, they're all at the same angle like this. Okay, all the way down to the corner. Whoops, okay, I have one more there I need. So I'm gonna line it up again and do it again, okay? So make sure you do that all the way around. Okay, so wait right there just a second. I wanna show you my finished product. I was so proud of it. So look at that. Isn't that cool looking? It looks like a corner, and it's actually a flat piece of paper. And my markers, I use Sharpies, and the first one I used, it was a little bit older, so it wasn't as dark, and then I got a new one, so it kind of looks shaded, which is kind of cool. It implies that there's light over here and over here, a darker corner. So anyway, that's it. This is the one I chose to do, and you've got several choices in the pamphlet you can choose to make. But this is your last math assignment for today, or for this year, and you can just have your mom attach a scanned picture of it in an email to me, and I will have your work and record it from there. I just want to say it's been a great year. All of you have worked so hard. I'm so impressed with how you have risen to the occasion under this COVID lockdown situation, and you continue to work hard and finish the year strong. Most students are not finishing as strongly as you are at ILA because of we're already homeschoolers and we know what we're doing. Your parents know what you're doing. and we have somewhat of a system, but also we have a very high level of education so that we don't quit, we keep going. Because next year is coming around the corner, and we all want all of you to be very well prepared for the fall. And if you're going to be in my class next year, I really am excited for that. And if you're moving to another school, or if you're going to have another teacher or move to another class, please come and see me, because I've enjoyed having each and every one of you. So I hope you have a great summer, and I will be praying for you. Pray for me too, and take care, and God bless you all. Bye now.